So, Vineet, so what's special about the Samsung Galaxy Mega series?
Well, there are many special things, but I think the defining thing is that this is the first smartphone at a really large screen, which is 5.8 inch and 6.3 inch. So we have two models, and this really brings a very, very different viewing experience, and more importantly, whole web browsing experience, etc., becomes a very different experience altogether.
So at 6.3 inches, it's one of the largest screen phones which Samsung has ever launched. So pretty much any other phone player, I think Huawei has one phone, but pretty much I think this is the first one to hit the market. So the reactions on what's your thoughts on a really? It's almost a tablet, but still I feel it's a phone. Like you take it in the hand, it feels like a phone.
Yeah. So it's actually designed to act as a phone because of two defining features, like you said yourself, that it fits into a hand and you can actually operate it with a single hand. And second thing is that most people, when we did our research, used it as a primary phone, as a primary device. So that is the other thing. And it actually fits into your pocket pretty well, even in your shirt pocket. Therefore, we actually feel that it's just a large screen phone.
So Samsung has pretty much a device, like it started with the tablets initially, like Samsung had like a 7-inch tablet, a 7.7 inch, an 8 inch, a 10 inch. And now it's obviously it's an industry phenomenon, like screen size, phones at devices at every screen size. Can you talk through what devices Samsung has, right? Starting from the recently launched Galaxy Star around 5 inches.
So Galaxy Star actually is a 3-inch device, which is our now cheapest entry-level Android smartphone. And we go all the way up to now 6.3 inches with the Galaxy Mega. So we have actually a device at every point that there is a consumer need for. And we basically do a lot of research to find out what that right size is and then make it feasible for or available for consumers. So we now have from 3 inch to 6.3 inch. Yes, at 7 inch, we then move on to our tablets. And I think that's the border, so to speak, of between 6.3 and then after that it becomes a tablet. Largely because we found that 7 inches becomes unwieldy to carry and put in your pocket, etc. Whereas at 6.3 inch, people can still use it as a phone.
The Tab 2 is a pretty popular.
Oh yes, of course. So there is a market for tablets. Let's not forget that. I mean, there are people who.
I've seen a lot of people using it for calls as well.
Yeah, but primarily, yeah. I mean, there are people who use it for calls. So people.
It's a pretty interesting segment. I think Samsung started it out like the phone part of the phone into a tablet. I think Samsung launched it with a Tab 2 310 about a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Now we have a wide variety of devices in the market. Phone. So is it a kind of a confirmation that we won't see large screens which are larger than 6.3 inch from Samsung?
No, you never say never with Samsung. If there is a consumer need, we will launch it.
So you said that the Galaxy Mega 5.8 inch is powered by a Broadcom dual core chip. And we just talk about that.
Well, so we have two different chipsets. One is a Broadcom chipset and the other one is the A9, I think, Qualcomm chipset. And those are two different chipsets. And our chipset strategy largely is determined by strategy of availability and need. And that's the reason why we have different chipsets in different devices.
And the Galaxy Grand was launched not very recently, but recently. It's like one of the more lower priced large screen phones from Samsung. What success have you enjoyed?
We've had very good success with Grand. I think we hit a sweet spot in terms of both pricing as well as consumer need of screen size. And I think enthused by that, Mega is a good build on that success, because we did realize that people want the right combination of price, screen size, and I think that worked pretty well for Grand.
And you also have a lower priced version of the Grand, the Quattro.
Yeah, we just recently launched something because we heard consumers saying that I would like something slightly smaller, and that's why we launched the Quattro, which is a quad-core processor, and it's a faster processor, but in a slightly smaller size.
And how's been you said you have achieved 10 million sales of the S4 recently. Launched the Mega. So
globally, global sales.
I'm sure you can't reveal the India specific numbers, but how's the reaction been?
So S4 has stood out as probably the most feature-packed, innovative product in this smartphone category ever. And I think that's how it's being clearly perceived by customers. And this is not Samsung saying it, but consumers are saying that. And that's why it's being lapped up across the world as the flagship product.
And regarding India, so previously Samsung, like obviously from not only Samsung but a lot of players weren't considering India as a key market. It was long. It was like kind of in the last leg of launches. I'm talking about 2-3 years down the lane. So it was only Nokia. It was like basically considering you were with Nokia in the past. We have seen the market transform now. So now Samsung is like pretty much has India on the league, like one of any product launch. So how critical is India to the entire Samsung product portfolio?
No, so India is a very key market for Samsung, and I think our inputs are regarded pretty seriously in whether it's product design and the roadmaps that we create. And we have big plans for India. We are already market leaders both in value and volume terms, and we want to grow that position to become even bigger leaders in this market.
Great. So I think you mentioned recently that you might be launching a Galaxy S4, like you might be manufacturing the Galaxy S4 in India soon. So any thoughts on that? Like
See, our production and supply chain strategy is a global strategy. It depends on a balancing of supply and demand or capacity and demand across various factories that we have. So we do produce a lot of models, including Grand, for example, and even higher end models in India. And if there is a need, if there is capacity here and there is a need for manufacturing S4, we will do that.
Right, so you have the backbone here.
Absolutely, of course. We have the capability to do that in India.
And any chance we would see the Galaxy Mega range also being shipped out of India?
Again, like I said, these are global decisions based on capacity and demand.
So all right, Vineet, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.